So you promised us a really interesting story about an art house.
Yeah, because, you know, art is about expression and creating an emotional response from patrons. It also offers an opportunity to spark conversations. The Yellow House just launched with their grand opening last night, and their vision is to create a safe space where art plus action creates change.
My hope is that this is about how people begin to see and communicate with one another. The space itself is intimate in size, and the programs are going to be intimate intentionally so that we stop living just on the surface and we all dig a little bit deeper in with each other.
Hope McMath's founded Yellow House with a very specific vision in mind.
Yellow House is a place and a program, an idea, an organization that's about how art and community building come together. So it's about connecting artists with communities that they currently don't necessarily connect with. It's about connecting organizations that don't really always speak the same language. And it's about connecting people to one another, but using art as the bridge.
I've always had the mentality that my purpose in the world is to connect people. Ergo, this job. I also take pride in doing things outside the box, which makes for another connection between Yellow House's vision and myself.
Yellow House is different than what most people think of as an arts organization or a cultural organization, in part because of scale. So this is smaller and very close to the ground. It also very intentionally is physically located in a place of intersection. It literally sits between sort of the hip, fashionable King Street, Riverside, Avondale neighborhood and the Lackawanna neighborhood. These are places in Jacksonville that are only a couple blocks apart, and yet they have very little conversation with one another. It's also different because it can be quick and responsive.
Quick and responsive is most definitely a different mentality in the art world.
One of the things we can do with both exhibitions and public programs is really pay attention to what's happening in the world around us, whether it's the larger national conversation or issues that are important on a hyper-local level.
A perfect example of social dialogue involves the conversation the Jacksonville community is currently having about Confederate monuments and statues. The first exhibition at Yellow House goes all in on that debate.
The show that's up right now at Yellow House allowed artists to actually respond to that issue and get fresh art up on the walls right when that is a relevant conversation. And so by seeing the art, it gives all of us lenses to look through, to think about that history, to think about what the solutions might be, to either bolster or change our perspective. And I really think that's pretty core to what Yellow House is going to be trying to do.
And these types of exhibitions are possible because
I'm not worrying about a multi-million-dollar budget, and those of us involved with Yellow House are not accountable to some sort of larger governing body.
Hope embraces each individual's perception of art and knows that no two people will experience any exhibition the same way.
What people take away will be different depending on how they interact with us and what they come to us with. But my hope is that people will find their own voice through creative expression, that people leave an experience with Yellow House feeling like they learned something, they were touched by something, they were challenged, they were uplifted, they were made angry. As long as they feel something, that's legit. You know, I'm happy with that.
I'm Rance Adams for River City Live. So you can dip in tonight from 6 to 8 or tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to meet 18 regional artists who are emphasizing saying a lot with less. So that exhibit runs through September 24th. If you want to know more, go to rivercitylivetv.com and click on the As Seen on RCL tab.
Okay, don't go anywhere. We have so much in store.